Hi, Carrie here from Artist Strong, and today I am doing something new. I'm gonna record this kind of without any editing and do some teaching and see how it helps you. So, one thing I find a lot of artists do is they very freely internalize kind of negative criticism and feedback of others and almost prioritize the feedback of others over their own internal awareness or self-assessment of their work. And that inner critic and judgment interferes with our ability to self-assess with any kind of clarity. So I created something called a creative confidence meter, and I'm going to walk you through it today. And looking at some notes today too, it will help you self-assess your confidence across 4 categories of art. So creativity, skill, your practice, how you show up for your art, and your style. Even if you feel stuck right now, or even if you don't, this tool can help you kind of look at what you're doing with your art across these measures and help you decide, are you happy with where you're at? Are there things you'd want to change? It's part of this idea of being able to help you personally define what it means to really be an artist so that you can concretely take steps forward to realize your goals without waiting for some kind of like external validation or feeling like you have to have a certain qualification to be called an artist. I really want us to self-reflect and ask ourselves how we define these things and what do we want for our art. So I have a chart and a document that I'm going to be referring to today. It's free for you to use. The link to sign up to grab the free document is in the description of below this video, but you could always just watch this video over and over again if you want as well. So let's start by sharing my screen here. How do I share what I want to share now? So right now I am sharing a document on the screen and I want you to draw a radar chart with me. So what is a radar chart? I'm going to get my pen out and I'm going to draw one here. Let's make sure my pen is behaving. Do I have a painting tool? Where's my painting tool? I downloaded the new Affinity and I'm used to the old one and now I feel lost. It helps if you're in the right platform. I was not on the Pixel, so that's why that wasn't working. So let's draw our radar chart. A radar chart basically looks like a giant plus sign. And then what we're going to do is label each part of the axis moving clockwise, beginning with the top. So the top one will be called creativity, then skill, then practice and style. So let me write them down for you. Oops, this is going to be a little sketchy. Creativity, skill, practice, and style. If at any time you need to pause, don't forget you can pause this so you can watch this at your own pace, do what you need to do. So now the central axis is going to be a 0. This is 0. The outer edges are 5. All of these are going to be 5s. And then we're going to have a 3 in the middle. Like so. Now, we're going to look at this and assess ourselves. And I'm going to give you some examples here. On a scale of 0 to 5, how would you rate your creativity? And here's kind of some examples I have for you. So 5 is I have the confidence and skill to bring the ideas from my mind to paper and canvas. You feel like you got ideas that are just flowing out of you like a fire hose and you are pumped and ready to go. 3 is I have some ideas, but I struggle to bring them to life. And 1 is something like I don't have a creative bone in my body or I'm just a copyist, which sometimes I hear from the community. So yeah, you put a dot along the line where you think it best suits you. So if you think you have some ideas, but sometimes you struggle to bring them to life, you would choose 3 and put it there. If you're somewhere in between, you do what feels right for you. There's not a right or wrong answer. It's about being honest with yourself about how you feel you are doing with these categories. Now we're going to do the same thing with skill. On a scale of 0 to 5, how would you rate your skill? 5 being I can draw and paint anything I want, and if I can't, I know what to do to improve. 3 is I can draw and paint some things realistically, but it's inconsistent. Or I can only draw from photo references, but I struggle to draw and paint from live observation and or from my imagination. And 1, I can't draw a straight line. I can't draw or paint anything. I can't get it to look the way I want. And again, place the dot along the line where you think it best suits you. So let's say we'll give us a 4 here today. Now, a practice. On a scale of 0 to 5, how do you rate your creative practice? And your creative practice, what I'm referring to is the time and space you make for your art. So 5 would be I show up regularly and consistently for my art. 3 would be I have periods where I show up and make my art, but they are inconsistent, and I have large gaps where I don't make anything at all. And 1 would be I make art when I feel like it, or I'm actively avoiding my art. Again, place a large dot along the line where it best fits you. So for example, if you think you're a 5, it would be down here. Now, this is all in a document as well. I put it in a Google document so you can kind of walk through it that way if you want the text to read along with the pictures. So be sure to download it by going to the link in the description. Now, step 7, assess your style. On a scale of 0 to 5, how would you rate your style? 5 is people recognize my work as uniquely my own. I can place my work next to other artists and it stands out as separate and distinct from my peers. I create art consistently in series to present my work cohesively and professionally. 3 would be I've explored topics like batching and working in series, but I'm not using them. I have made enough art, people are starting to see similarities between pieces, even when the subject matter is different. And 1 would be I make art one piece at a time with no thought of the next. Place a large dot along the line where it best fits you. So if you're 4, it would go here. Okay. Now it's about connecting the dots, making a diamond. So it'll look something like this. Good thing this isn't a measure of my drawing skill. Now it's time to reflect. I want you to ask yourself, which category is your highest score? Why do you think that's true? What category did you rank lowest and why? What can you work on moving forward to improve your score? And again, that's relevant if it bothers you, right? If doing this reflection makes you go, you know what, I wish I was more creative, or I wish I was more skillful. That's the inner voice I want you to tune into, not the one that's like, why bother? If you can't do this, like, don't show up. You know, I want us to listen to that inner critic. They're trying to protect us, but they're not doing us any favors. So let's check in kind of with our heart here and go, where does this make me feel good? And where do I wish I could see something different for myself? It's through this specificity of reflection and self-assessment that you can then take steps to change your circumstance. And that's the biggest goal for all of you. So I'm gonna share my screen, a different screen for you now. Let me pull it out so I can give you some examples of what different charts can look like. That way you can have some ideas about you know, like what your scores could be implications of or for you. So let me get that window up here. Here's some of the document. So this is the document you can grab to have a copy of for your own reference. And if you use Google Docs, be sure to go to File and make a copy to keep your own copy if you want. And then you could take notes in it and stuff. I'm pretty sure I've set it up so you can do that. Oh, I just lost my spot. Okay, so we just did reflection. And again, like, I'd love you to actively do this today. So pause, you know, stop my yammering, hit the pause button and take some action and do some reflection and share it. Tell us in the comments or on the website, wherever you want. Email me, carrie@artstrong.com. Let's talk about it. Here's an example of a chart, right? For creativity, someone rated themselves 1, their skill is a 3, their practice is a 5, and their style is a 4. So it looks like they're leaning strong in the areas of style and practice, but perhaps they feel weaker in creativity and skill. So if your chart looks like this, showing up for your art isn't a problem. Your work is beginning to exhibit style, but your skill and imagination feel limited and perhaps are limiting some of your goals. So here's some suggestions. You'd create a practice plan to use your time wisely to improve your skill in areas that help you realize your goals. I don't think you should be drawing Dogs, if you want to draw people all the time, let's look at which skill-based activities would best suit the things you care about improving in. It's not about everything. It's about improving in the right areas in a very specific and strategic way. And this is something we do inside the Artist Strong Studio. If that's something you want support with, know that you don't have to do this alone. That's actually something I walk through individually with students. We create a practice plan. Students conduct an assessment. I ask you to draw something in a timed setting. I look at your assessment, and that tells me which lessons and activities and which skill-based practices are going to help you show up and improve your art. And that's why I think something like a practice plan is so important, because it's tailored to your goals. Art time is so precious. We very rarely give ourselves a lot of it. Let's use it really well when we have it and not feel guilty about it. Let's be strategic and move that needle forward in terms of feeling a sense of growth and momentum. I also suggest that you create in a series, because it allows you to more deeply explore your new ideas and test materials and concepts that may deepen the creative side of your practice. This is a great way to help develop your creativity, and also, of course, leans into and reflects in your style. Again, this is something that we do inside Artist Strong Studio, where you get mentorship and support on your process and your voice to help you paint like you. That's something so important to me. Here's another chart. Someone scored really high on creativity, a little low on skill and practice, but a little strong on style as well. Here, you probably have loads of ideas that you're bringing to life that show your style. Perhaps you're struggling to show up regularly for your work though, and your skill is limiting the quality of your finished works. Perhaps your skill makes you feel like there's a gap between the quality of the ideas you have and the skill that you have to express them. There's a famous quote by Ira Glass that I think talks about that. And again, a practice plan then. Let's talk about that. Creating a practice plan for yourself that's specific to your visions for your work is going to help you. If you love landscapes, your practice and study should be driven by this interest. And again, let's develop some strategies to help you show up regularly and consistently for your art as well. A lot of people think they have to have huge chunks of time, and I strongly adhere to this idea of 5 to 15 minutes most days. It moves the needle more for me than you could ever imagine in my personal practice, and I know if it can work for me, then it definitely can work for you. What's next? Here's the other one. Here's someone who feels like they're scoring low on style and creativity, but they're pretty strong in skill and practice. If your chart looks like this, you probably have pretty strong skill and easily draw or paint realistically from photo reference. But you're starting to feel impatient or restless about working from photos. Perhaps you feel too married to them or too tight, like they're restricting you in some way, and you want something more for that art of yours, but you don't feel like you have any good ideas yet. But you're good at making time and practicing to improve your skill. So you're willing to dedicate time. You've given yourself that permission already. You make time and you've built your skill. So now it's a little bit harder. There's like an element of vulnerability you're going to have to deal with here, right? With both your skill and ability, something that's very concrete that you can actually work on and see concrete results with, like voice and style development, is not as linear of a path. It's not this like perfect chronological event. It's something that ebbs and flows and comes from this place of curiosity. I have a great interview with Grace Chon where we talk about following your breadcrumbs. I highly recommend it. And if I can figure it out, I'll link it up here, wherever it goes. So what I recommend for someone with this kind of score is that you dedicate time to your art to create in a series. Again, creating in a series is such a valuable activity. I have several articles on that as well. I'll make sure they're either linked in the description or above. But working in a series lets you deepen the understanding of the ideas that you have. It lets you dig a little deeper. It lets you get uncomfortable and stretch yourself a little bit, because that's how you find your voice. You've got to lean into some of that discomfort, because it's in the discomfort that you grow. It's in the discomfort that you learn and discover what you do or don't like. And again, having mentorship, having peer support, having people look at your work and talk about it with you can help you see what's already reflected in your work that's uniquely yours. And then you can get curious about it and go, I really love how I apply the paint in this manner. I want to, that was kind of, subconscious or more intuitive. I hadn't really thought about how I was doing it, but now I want to bring that through my next 3 paintings and see what happens. That is where things come to the next level. Exploring your influences, artists who inspire you, as well as the formal decisions that you're making, which formal decisions means how you're using the elements and principles of art. Those are the things that help you start to bring your voice together more clearly, both for you and your viewers. What through lines do you see in the work you already make? Lay it all out and look at it. Ask yourself, do I have similar use of color? What about the marks that I make? What textures do I see? Is the subject matter actually have some overlap? What could you take from that by doing this reflection right now and consciously bring it forward into future pieces? Now, I am gonna stop sharing here. There we go. I would love to see your creative confidence meter. I've made this today as kind of this self-reflection activity to help you get motivated to think about your art. Again, we're so quick to take in feedback, even that feedback we hate and don't want to listen to, the unsolicited, angry, annoying feedback that becomes this little negative voice in our mind. And yet, I think that almost makes us avoid doing some self-assessment work that could actually really help our art grow and thrive and blossom and come from this place of freedom of expression. So while this might feel a little more academic or a little bit out of your comfort zone, I really encourage you to do this reflection activity. And for the first 5 people, I'm going to give you some time slots on my calendar this week and next. I'm going to make sure that calendar is linked below. But for sure, for the first 5 people who sign up, I will give you a good chunk of time. We can see how long it takes, maybe 30 minutes. And let's talk through it and develop some strategies to support you. Additionally, I do want to let you all know, if you're watching this in real time, I am having a Black Friday sale for my program, Artist Strong Studio. And it is the lowest price it'll probably ever be. So if you think you'd like support with these kinds of problems and you don't want to do it alone, that you're seeking mentorship and you feel like we could be a good fit, hop on one of those calls so that you can decide if it's a right fit for you. This is not a high pressure environment. This is about really trying to help you. And regardless, you'll walk away with the creative confidence meter as kind of this measurement tool to help you look at where you are with your art and where you want to go and have some ideas to move forward with to help your art. So I'd love to see you there. If you have any questions, or getting on a Zoom call with a random on YouTube is a little too scary for you, then you can DM me on Instagram. I'm at Artist Strong. So take a look there as well. Now, if you guys have any more questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. Drop them in the comments below, and I'd love to hear one aha that you are taking away from today's video. What's something that you can actively use either in terms of your mindset or your approach to your work that's going to help you make stronger art? Tell me about it in the comments below. And stay tuned for next week. Until then, remember, proudly call yourself an artist. Together we are Artist Strong.